And we're live otra vez. So ahorita no me quiso funcionar el micrófono y en verdad que paré para poder hacer un poquito de esto y entenderlo con calma. So vi videos de cómo add strings question que no entendía cómo es que podíamos cogerlo un actual integer, ¿verdad? Sin usar el function int. Y simplemente era usar ASCII values, que era lo que yo estaba pensando. Tengo que borrar esa aplicación. Que era lo que yo estaba pensando, pero que era lo que yo estaba pensando, pero no sabía cómo implementarlo. So, vi un video about that. También vi un video sobre multiply, strings, question also. Multiply strings. So, vi video de las dos. Y ahora quiero implementar el de add string. Que el ejercicio estuvo súper bueno para practicar string manipulation. So, vamos para allá. Nada, ya llevo 1 hora y media y me faltan 2 horas y media. Nada, terminamos antes de las 12. Yes, sir. Son 2 horas, serían 10. Terminamos a las 11. Ok. Pues sí. Vamos para encima. ¿Qué dice aquí la pregunta? La pregunta es simplemente add strings, right? So add strings y no pueden ser ni negativos ni decimales. So simplemente hay que buscar una manera. Lo que te está pidiendo la pregunta, what the question is saying to us, in other words, is to do addition by hand. And how can we do addition by hand? So let me just open up. Let me do it right here, like if it were the actual interview. So I'll just copy and paste this and that, right? So I just do this and copy paste over here and delete these, right? So, and then there's gonna be, so how do we actually add? That's the first question we want to ask yourselves, to write the algorithm, right? To write the pseudocode, right? Because pseudocode is just writing an algorithm but with English. So first we want to use the rightmost character. So we're gonna first use the 1, the 3, and the 9. So because we want to look at two characters at the same time, we already know we are going to use a two-pointer technique, which is very common for arrays and string manipulation. So two-pointer technique, you already know that. So while I am writing while I am doing an example, a test case, I like to write what comes to mind in a different segment. So here I'm gonna write technique. So it's two-pointer. So what I'm gonna do right now is we need to add 3 plus 9. So how do we add 3 plus 9 if they are strings? So we can use an ASCII value. So we can subtract 3, the actual string 3 minus 0. And that will give us an actual 3. Because if we Google, let me just do a quick search. Right, so if we do, wait, where am I? Okay, I'm right over there. Okay, so if we do ASCII values, so ASCII table, so as you can see, where are the numbers? So yeah, so 3, 51 minus 51 minus 48, 49, 50, 51. It's 3. So we can actually just subtract them all by 0 and we'll have the actual value, right? So look here. So we'll do that. So for each character then that we're actually pointing at, we're going to subtract by 0. So it's gonna be 3. So first we're gonna be 3 minus 0, and then 9 minus 0, and then we're going to have the actual integer values that we can add. So we have 3 and 9, and we add them. So what do we do now? Well, we need to do a pass on, right? We need to do a pass on a 1, because 9 plus 3 is 12. So we put 12 in the result value, and we pass on a 1. A 1, right? So what happened here? So first, the algorithm is to so when do we stop the algorithm? When do you want it to stop? So we want while pass while there are numbers, right? While there are numbers, we want to while there are numbers, we want to get from left to right. Want to get rightmost value. Value. We want to get the int version by ASCII values. And then we want to add them. Then we want to, so for each character, if length is 2, I want to divide it by 10, to take the modulo, and set module by 10 to result, and then we want to get floor or integer division to pass on to next number. Right. So what we're gonna do right now is to. So yeah, that's what we did right now. So now we want to do the same as here. So we're gonna repeat this. So it's gonna be. So we're gonna repeat, and then move, and then move. So 2. 2 minus 0 is 2. 9 minus 0 is 9. Is the ASCII value 9. So then we're going to add a 9 plus 2 plus 1. So we want to actually add. And we want to add that and the pass on. So 13. So we're gonna set. So 13. Then we're gonna set pass on. With division, floor division by 10. So that's gonna be pass on. Set pass. Wait, floor division. Well, yeah. So we're gonna set pass on to floor division by 10. Set pass on to floor division by 10. So after we set the floor division by 10, we want to add them. So we want to add. This is going to be 3. Wait. This is going to be 3. Going to be 3. This is going to be 1. This is going to be 1. We eliminate this one. And now we're going to do the same. So 1 plus 1 plus 2 is 4. Is 4. So yeah. And then we're going to keep checking then as you can see, there's no characters, so we finish. But what would happen if another character had one more digit, right? So let me just update this real quick. So what we would actually do is that we would set to add by 0. So if it's outside the length of nums, we want to simply add by 0 either of I or j. I'm setting the pointers I or j, or actually top and bottom. Point is, yeah. So it could be like this, or it could be this way, right? And it could be infinite numbers of dun and infinite numbers of 0, right? So yeah. So that's sort of an edge case, right? So if the length of the numbers are not equal, we need to do that, right? Or we could simply just do that in every case. And every case that we extend, that we pass the length of nums. Right, so yeah, that's nice. So first, what do we have? Let me just set this to full screen mode so you can see it clearly. My bad on that. So yeah, I'll just zoom on this real quick, cause we're actually just, wait a minute. Zooming a little bit, right? So yeah. Nice. Okay. So first, we're going to write the function. So first is def add. I'm gonna call this add stir, and it's gonna take two nums. So num1 and num2, they are both going to be of type stirs, right? So what's the first thing we want to do? The first thing we want to do is to get the rightmost character. But because we're going from right to left, we could simply use a for loop and we want to do them both at the same time. We could use the function sip for that, but because of the reason that they can be of different lengths of numbers, we are going to use two for loops differently. So the solution I was talking about, it would be O of n plus m being the length of the numbers, right? Or O to n, because it would be O of n, yeah, because it would just traverse in one time. And the space complexity would be, it would be So let me just do one. I'm going to do one Google search. So does strings in Python are mutable? Strings are immutable, so we're gonna turn them into a list first, because they are immutable. Or I think we can do it without turning them into a list. So yeah, for top num, I'm gonna do this top num char in range of length, because we're gonna need the indexes, the indexes of each value, range of num1, right? So num1. So the range is gonna be, we're gonna stop at -1, and we're gonna just step that. So we're gonna traverse it from left to right, and we're going to have a result, right? So result is going to be a string. I think that's, yeah. It also needs to be a string, of course. So we can iterate strings. So top num char I'm just gonna write a pass. So for each num, and then we're going to do how can I get the other function to go at the same time? I just have a fucking brain fart. Jesus Christ. So I want to get the last character out of num. So how can I do that? I can simply reverse num. How can I use this? How can I do this without using the zip function? I could do it by counter, right? So I could just do. I could just do an index of num2. So bottom. So I just do num top index. It would be just started -1. And so that would be just -1. Just started -1. So we want to what we want to do is to ask get integer values. So how can we do that? So we could do as I said, top, you could do num1 top index minus so num and then it's going to be just num1 num2 bottom index, right? So we're going to convert this into a num2 bottom index. Right. So what we did, we just got, with this 2 lines of code, we just got the integer values, right? The integer values of these. So now, what do we want to do with those? So we want to add them. So result. So addition is going to be add going to be is going to be num. I'll just copy and paste this, so it's gonna be num1 plus num1 plus num2. So add. So after we do that, so let me just write in comments. Addition operation. So then we're going to pass the tenths placed number to the next number. So, tenths place number to the next number. So, we want to get the pass on. We're going to get add and have a floor division by 10. And that's going to be, so if it's 11, going to be pass on. And then we're going to have a result. So result plus equals add mod 10. And that's going to be, in this case, 2, right? In this example, it's 2. So, well, these numbers are not right. Let me just correct the answer. So 4 plus, it's going to be 13. It's 3, it's 12, 13 again. It's going to be 5. So yeah. So we already got these, so we're gonna paste the result there. And so yeah. So we want to pass on. We're going to initialize it to 0. We're going to add the pass on here too. Pass on. But let's check the type. So it needs to be type string. So it needs to be type string. Jesus. Okay. So so this result needs to be of stir. So yeah. Just do that again, and so yeah. So if so I want to write a condition here that if we have not reached the end in either of so how can we do this, right? So we want to turn this into code. So first we want to do if and we want to do bottom index. Bro. Okay. Wait. Notion. Thank you. So yeah. My neck hurts a lot. Let me just get a little bit more comfortable. Yeah. So the bottom index, so after we do that in the first, we want to just plus, so plus equals, so it's minus equal 1. So what do we want to do over here? So if we're gonna, so if we have, so let me do a case that, so in the case that it's going to be in the case that so another thing that I want to do is just reverse the result. So that's something that in the end is going to be we're going to return the result, and this needs to be a list, so list. Jesus, so okay. So if we have not, how do we know that if we have not reached the end in one of them? So so I'm just gonna do the bottom first, the bottom. So if bottom, if num, so if num bottom index is plus minus 1. So if it's true, so if there is none, we're going to make, wait, we're going to make num bottom index equal to 0, and then do the same for if not none wait, there's a typo here. So that's so this for loop goes until the top index. So after the for loop, so if no, yeah. So that's with the for loop on the top. So now we're going to do this. So it's gonna be 0, 1. So this is actually just going to, if not bottom index -1. So that's if it's a 0. So if we finish looping through the first, so if bottom index, let me just do this real quick. So after the loop, so yes, Jesus. So after the loop, if bottom index -1, so if it is true, so if there is a number, basis. So if there is a number, no. Ah, my brain just stopped working. Ah, she's. So if minus one, so if it is true, if there is another number to the left, we want to make the top button, the top index. So this is just wrong implementation. Just and after we finish, we just want. Yeah, this is wrong. And I already passed up my time. Right. Yeah. Kinda. I got the idea right, at least. Yeah. This is wrong. So, because I'm such a cool and such a powerful and smart programmer, I'm gonna ask ChatGPT to actually correct my code. Because I want it to be a little bit less good than what I have right now. So why doesn't my freaking okay. So right, I want to see my. So I don't know if I can see my. Yeah, I can see myself. So I'm just gonna show you my other monitor. So it's gonna be string manipulation. So my channel. So I'm live right now. So it's gonna be string manipulation. This is gonna create a loop. So my channel. So I'm live right now. So it's gonna be string manipulation. This is gonna create a. Yeah, I'm just gonna stop. So, ChatGPT Plus, fix this horrible implementation. No, I need to talk myself nice. Fix this excellent yet faulty of an add stir function. So I'm just gonna do this. So what can I see? So issue with the provided add stir function claims to add two numbers represented as strings without converting them directly to integers. However, there are several issues in the implementation that need to be addressed. Let's walk through the necessary corrections. Nice, bro. Nice. So, issues. There are 5 main issues. String indexing. Python does not allow modifying strings in place, as strings are immutable. So, I need to convert it to a list. I'm such a stupid ass. Oh, ha. Oh, ha. Oh, ha. Okay, pues start indexing, so handling both strings. The loop only iterates through num1, but it should handle both num1. Also, the lengths of num1 might be different. Yeah, that's where my just brain stopped working. So negative indexing while using bottom is a good idea. You need to ensure that it doesn't go out of balance for the shorter string. So yeah, my brain did just stop working right there. So this is actually a great exercise for string manipulation and array. I don't know. This is a really good exercise. Also, so if you guys want to do it, I would extremely recommend it to you. And also the multiplied version, so multiply strings, which are both in LeetCode, and they are really nice. So yeah, they are both really good exercises. After I do these exercises, I was supposed to do this one. So the gain, it's gonna be. So I already did this one, so I wanted to do a new one. So it's gonna be gain, highest point of travel, and then I'll do. Let me do a quick check over here. Let me just do 15. So 15 is going to be some strings. That's the one I'm doing. And it's going to be a function that takes two inputs and a sorted array. Returns the index. Jesus. Why am I showing just a little part of what I'm actually... Let me just shorten this. Yeah, now you can see it fully. So yeah. So let me just stop reading this. Yeah, I'll just provide a code. So incorrect loop condition. The for loop will cause an indexer as it will try to process in its first iteration. So if not, I just did a whole disaster, bro. This is what I was trying to do. So let's look at this. Tengo un dolor de cabeza. De verdad. Jeez. ¿Qué hora es? Son las 10 todavía. Fuck. I really just want to stop. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Jesus Christ. Alright. So it's gonna be fixed implementation. So iterate over both strings. Function now correctly iterates over num1 and num2 using two separate indexes. So it's going to be so if we don't know, So if we don't know when are we going to really stop, we should use a while loop. And that was my. So I still don't know really when to use the while and the for loop. So if it stops based on a condition, we should use a while loop. if it does not stop based on a condition and we want it to keep looping through the whole list or the whole iterable, we want it to be a for loop. And that was my mistake. Everything turned out incorrectly. So as you can see, we first initiates I and j to the last character of the array, of the string, right? So while I is less or equal to 0 to the index 0, that means that we, or j is less than 0 or pass on. I don't know really why they pass on. So if pass on is, or pass on, what makes pass on true or false? So if it is 0, it is false. I don't really know about. So that's a question I might just ask ChatGPT later. So I already understand this part of the code. So sum equals pass on. Don't know why that is. Sum equals pass on. So if I is less or equal to 0, is greater. If I is greater or equal to 0, we're going to going on a trip in a super rocket ship. Wait, this dude's really just. So yeah, I'm just gonna do. Instead of using the int function, use the ASCII values to get the integer values of the ints. Ba-bum. So this just lagged. So that was an airplane, I think. Jesus, that was. So why use Zord? Yeah. I'm going to put some clothes on. Yeah, this is what I kind of wanted to do. Can you reverse the string, though? I want to check for this in the LeetCode. This just passes the test. I don't really want to do toSum. I want to search for problems. So just do this. Yeah. So that's my stream. I have a headache, so I've been coding this particular problem for 2 hours and a half. I'm just gonna move through, and yeah. Thank you very much. I need to practice this exercise and this one. So I'm gonna practice this one. Nothing. Thank you. If you like the stream, follow, like, comment, and subscribe. So yeah, thank you. Uh, and see you guys in the next episode.